Welcome back to the Crochet Crowdhouse. That's my friends at yarnspirations.com. I'm your host, Mikey. Today is the Textured Granny Baby Blanket by Jeannie. Now, Jeannie and I have a fun relationship behind the scenes, very casual, lots of innuendo, lots of fun talk for sure. And one thing that, oh, look at this, she just put the gauge. So she intentionally misses gauge off stuff, and then I call it out and she goes, oh, I missed that, did I? And meanwhile, you know darn well she didn't want to do it. So we keep a spreadsheet behind the scenes of all this. So apparently she put that in, which is great. So good for her. So let's give her some Scooby snacks. But when I called her out on it, she says, yeah, it's missing, but I'm still pretty, right? And that's when you insert the crickets. So she tries to play these little mind games with me, but she has a really sickening and fascinating way of approaching these patterns, and nice, easy to repeat. Now, over the years, a lot of her patterns have been very long when they're nice, easy repeats, because people ask, what is the stitch count in a certain round? And the fact is that what she does is that in today's era is that she's actually just putting the round numbers and what the stitch counts are, because people will ask us, and then look, you can check it off. So we're going to begin today, and I'm going to show you the easy repeating. So you're going to notice is that she's got the color breakdown, because it's a lot easier to do it like this than it is to write it all out, all the individual instructions, because the instructions are just repeating over and over and over again. So she's using a Bernat Bundle Up here. The color A is Duckling and color B is Sky Blues, just 2 balls of each. This is a baby size blanket and it's 33 inches square. But the fact is that you can make this as big or as little as you want. She also has a rectangular version of this that you'll find on our website, but I'm only filming the square today. And I'm just using some spare yarn that I have on hand just to show you the stitch work itself. And this is Red Heart Soft Essentials. And I don't know how much yarn you're gonna need for that, but I'm using a 6mm size J hook. So just ignore the yarn that I'm playing with and just concentrate on this. So this here would be the equivalent of a number 4 weight. Medium weight yarn if you're looking. So without further ado, let's begin. So let's begin by doing a slip knot, and we're going to chain a total of 4. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. And what we need to do is in the 4th chain from the hook, which is the beginning chain, we're going to apply then 2 double crochet. You're then going to chain 2 and then 3 more double crochet into that same stitch where you just did that in. We're creating all 4 sides, because what does a square have that this is going to have? 4 sides. So then once you get that one done, chain 2 and then 3 more double crochet in. Okay, 1 more side to go, chain 2, and in the last one, see the straggler, just go right up over top of it and get it stuck underneath the stitches. So put 3 more in. So you can see that you're going to have 4 sides now complete. And what is missing? Jeannie does what is called as a half double crochet join. She showed me this years ago, which I love, and just kind of pull things open. And what she does, instead of chaining 2 and attaching it, she does a half double crochet attached to the top of the 1st chain. And the reason why she's doing that is that it allows your ending spot to be halfway through a corner. And so therefore it prevents the Afghan from really doing a spin in the interior, and it's a really great idea. So let's move on to round number 2. Round number 2. We're going to chain 3, which will count as a double crochet here and throughout. And then in the same space, I want you to place in 2 more double crochet. This will be your corner. Then she's telling us the middle one right here, we want to place that and make that a treble front post. So right here, so just wrap the hook twice and go around the middle one of the grouping of 3 and do a treble front post. And then she's telling us to jump immediately to the next corner. So each corner is going to be 3 double crochet. Okay, chain 2 and 3 double crochet. So I'll show you one more side and then I'll let you do the rest. So in this row or round, the middle one of the grouping of 3 is going to be a front post treble. So wrap that hook twice and come in the front side. And then just jump immediately to the corner, 3 double crochet, chain 2, 3 double crochet. Please do this all the way around. I'll meet you at the end of the round in a moment. So I'm coming around, just here's the corner. I'm doing my front post treble on the last side. And then I have to finish the first corner that I started with. So you'll place in 3 double crochet. And Jeannie is suggesting to do a color break. So if you want to follow the colors that she did, you can, or you could just let the yarn play its own tune. You decide. So once you're done that, you're going to join it with a half double crochet join. If you prefer to chain 2 and slip stitch, that's up to you, but this is how she's written it, and it looks really good. Let's move on to round number 3. Let's begin round number 3. You're going to chain a total of 3. If you're joining new yarn, just join it and then chain 3 and place in 2 more double crochet into the starting corner. Jeannie is asking us to skip the first stitch here, and in this stitch here, we want to do that front post treble. She is now asking us to skip the next stitch, which is here. Remember that when you do these trebles, they count as the stitch that it's sitting in front of. So you're going to skip the next stitch and come immediately to this one here that has the front post treble, and you're going to place in 3 double crochet. So we have 1, 2, 3. You're going to skip the next one and do a front post treble around this one, and it's the second last one before the corner. That helps you to visualize that better. And then jump to your corner. So your corners are always going to be the same. 3 double crochet, chain 2, 3 double crochet, and then I'll take you through one more side to make sure that you got it. Okay, so let's do another one. So after the corner is complete, you skip the first one out, go to the second and make it a front post treble. Then you skip the next one right here and come right immediately to the front post treble here and place in 3 double crochet. Skip the next one and then come here and make it a front post treble. And then come to all the way to the corner, 3 double crochet, chain 2, 3 double crochet. Please do this for the remaining of the round. So I'm coming all the way around and I have to fill in that last corner. So you're going to do a front post treble down, skip the last one, and go right into the corner with 3 double crochet. And what kind of join are you going to do? It's a half double crochet join if you're following the pattern. So just wrap the hook, come to the top of the first chain 3, and that's bada boom, bada bing. So that's pretty cool. So let's move on to round number 4. So the next round is basically going to explain it for the rest of this whole duration of the blanket. So we're going to chain 3, which will count as your first double crochet, and you will do 2 double crochet into the same corner. You're going to skip the first stitch out, and then you come and do a front post treble around the next. Skip the next stitch, and on this front post treble here, you will place in 3 double crochet. It's amazing she thought of this. I'm not saying that she shouldn't have, I would have never thought to do this combination. It's really good. So now we're going to skip the next one, and then the middle one of the grouping of the 3, you're going to place in our front post treble again. Skip the next one and come to this front post treble and put in 3 double crochet. Skip the next one and then come to the one after that and make it a front post treble. And then because the corner is next, skip the last stitch here and then just do your corner of 3 double crochet, chain 2, 3 double crochet. I'll take you through one more side. After the corner is complete, you skip the first one out, and the second one is going to be a front post treble. Skip the next one here, and in this front post treble, place in 3 double crochet. Skip the next one, and in the middle of this grouping of 3, place in a front post treble. Once that's in, you skip the next one, and in this next one here, it's going to be 3 double crochet. Skip the next one, and the one after that is going to be a front post treble, and then your corner is next. So skip the last stitch in that side and do a corner, 3 double crochet, chain 2, 3 double crochet. Please do this all the way around. This is technically round number 4. I'm in my last corner, making sure I'm putting in my 3 double crochet, and then I'm doing a half double crochet join. Now Jeannie takes us to round number 5, where she's going to leave us for a repeat, so I will take you through one more round to match her pattern. Let's do round number 5. You're going to chain 3. Daniel's moving around on the tractor, that's what you're hearing in the background. So chain 3 and put in 2 more double crochet. You're going to skip the first one out, and this one here is going to be a front post treble. It's already what you know, is just getting bigger and bigger per side. Skip the next one and place in 3 double crochet into the top of this front post treble. Skip the next one, and in the middle of the grouping of 3 here, make it a front post treble. Skipping the next one, and in this front post treble, make it 3 double crochet. Hopefully you're understanding the repeat on this is just getting wider. Skip the next one, and in the middle of this grouping of 3, place in a front post treble. Skip the next one, and in this front post treble, place in 3 double crochet. Skip the next one and make that a front post treble, and then you have 1 stitch left before the end of the side. You're going to skip it and then just go right into your corner of 3 double crochet, chain 2, 3 double crochet. I'll take you through one more side because I've been consistently doing that. I can see how this was a very fast project. It's a nice, easy to remember stitch. It's just a repeat of one line essentially, except for the colors. So just skip the first one out and do a front post treble around the second one in. Skip the next one, and in the front post treble here, put in 3 double crochet. Skip the next one out, and in the middle of the grouping of 3 here, make it a front post treble. Skip the next one out, and this one here, the front post treble, is going to be 3 double crochet. Skip the next one out. The middle of the grouping of 3 here is going to be a front post treble. Skip the next one out, 3 double crochet in the top of the front post treble. Skip the next one out and make the last one before the end here a front post treble, and then skip the last stitch. So then do your corner of 3 double crochet, chain 2, 3 double crochet. Please do this all the way around. This is round number 5, and then we're going to talk about the repeating for the rest of the blanket at this time. So I'm coming all the way around, just doing my repeating and then doing my final corner of 3 double crochet with a half double crochet joined to the top of the first chain 3. And let's talk about the repeating, and let's go back to Jeannie's instructions now. So Jeannie's instruction says repeat the round 5 and change the colors to suggested below if you want to match your sample. So you have all the stitch counts you possibly need to go all the way through this. It's only up to the 30th, and if you'd like to go even further on this, you can do so. We won't know the stitch counts if you decide to do that, but I don't think you really need to know that, honestly, once you get moving on this thing. So you're going to get to a certain size that you would like to do. It doesn't matter where you stop. The 31st and the 32nd round will be it. So I'll show you now the border of the 31st round, and you can come back here later when you need to learn how to do that. So let's begin. You're going to then chain 1, and you can put 2 single crochets into the same stitch or the same space, just like that. So the corners are not going to have a space here. You're going to notice that as we go. So we're no longer going to be skipping stitches, but it says in the back loop only, that's BLO, back loop only, 1 single crochet into the next stitch. So you're just going to go into the back loop only. And then it says to do a double crochet front post around the next one. So we're no longer skipping stitches. So we're going to do then a back post single crochet, and you're going to keep on doing this until you get to the middle one of the grouping of 3. So the middle one of the grouping of 3 is 1 double crochet, front post, and then you keep on the back loops only of the single crochet. So you're essentially following the same pattern, but you're just not skipping anything, and you're making it nice and full. And see the middle one of the grouping of 3 double crochet, make that a front post double, and then continue with the next one all the way until you get to the next time you see the grouping of 3, and you're going to do that all the way across until the next corner. Okay, here's the next grouping of 3, make that a front post double, single crochet in the back loop only before the corner, and in the corners you'll apply 3 single crochet. So you're just going to apply the same method going on all sides. Then you just start with the a back loop only single crochet, jump on down to do your front post double, and just continue along in the same manner. When you finally come around to the end, you were just going to apply 1 single crochet into the beginning corner because there was only 2 there, and you're going to slip stitch to the top of the first single crochet. So now the next round, number 32, is going to be a nice easy round, and I really liked her approach on this because what this stitch is about to do, it's about to turn it up to make it almost look like a knitted format just right at the very end. So to start, you're just going to just chain up 1, and you want to slip stitch in the back loop only. So just slip and slip, and I know what you're thinking, why? This turns up the edge to have a really beautiful look. So it's a really great maneuver. Do you see that? So she's asking us to slip stitch all the way around, so you don't have to worry about corners of adding stitches or subtracting. Just simply just slip stitch in every stitch all the way around, and then this turns it up and you have a beautiful edge like you see. Brilliant. So I'm coming all the way around, and I really am enjoying this stitch. Now I didn't do a whole blanket, of course, but I think the concept of having that 1 row repeat or round repeat is actually really smart. You get to the end, you're just going to slip stitch it to the regular stitch itself. Okay, so just join it. Now, you want to trim this long enough that you can get it through a tapestry needle and just pull it through the loop to lock it and turn it upside down. You're then going to grab your favorite tool ever, the tapestry needle. Dun, dun, dun. And then you were just going to drag this. Now, when you drag it through, don't try to squeeze this in between stitches itself. Try to break apart some of the plies. Some people like to complain, which is a natural thing, but that things fall out. If you try to split the plies versus going in between, it's much harder for this thing to wiggle out. And you're going to go back and forth. If you put the needle on the back side here that it will pop through, I'm literally going to come through that screen and just knock your lights out. Now, if your lights go out right now, that's kind of creepy. But just continue to go back and forth into the work itself. Don't want to see the needle. And what this is doing is it's hiding it in because the blanket can never stretch 3 ways. So if you ever have to trim your yarn in this project, same thing. You'll just do that. And what happens is that you end up with this magnificent piece. And this is another great pattern by Jeannie herself. And yeah, she's pretty, but don't tell her that.